Good morning. We're continuing with Chapter 2 of the Phantom Tollbooth. Milo looked around and for the first time noticed dozens of them sitting on the car, standing on the road, and lying all over the trees and bushes. They were very difficult to see because whatever they happened to be sitting on or near was exactly the color they happened to be. Everyone looked very much like the other, except for the color, of course, and some looked even more like each other than they did like themselves. "I'm very pleased to meet you," said Milo, not sure whether or not he was pleased at all. "I think I'm lost. Can you help me, please?"
"Don't say think,"
said one sitting on his shoe, for the one on his shoulder had fallen asleep.
"It's against the law."
And he yawned and fell off to sleep too.
"No one's allowed to think in the doldrums,"
continued a third, beginning to doze off, and as each one spoke, he fell off to sleep, and another picked up the conversation with hardly any interruption.
"Don't you have a rule book? It's Local Ordinance 175389-J.
Milo quickly pulled the rule book from his pocket and opened to the page and read, "Ordinance 175389-J. It shall be unlawful, illegal, and unethical to think of thinking, surmise, presume, reason, meditate, or speculate while in the doldrums. Anyone breaking this law shall be severely punished." Oh, and there he is in the doldrums, reading the rule book. You can see one of the little guys there and there. "That's a ridiculous law," said Milo quite indignantly. "Everybody thinks."
"We don't,"
shouted the Lethargarians all at once.
"and most of the time, don't,"
said a yellow one sitting on a daffodil.
"That's why you're here. Time. You weren't thinking, and you weren't paying attention either. People who don't pay attention often get stuck in the doldrums."
And with that, he toppled out of the flower and fell snoring in the grass. Milo couldn't help laughing at the little creature's strange behavior, even though he knew it might be rude. "Stop that at once," ordered the plaid one, clinging to his stocking.
"Laughing is against the law. Don't you have a rule book? It's Local Ordinance 574381-W.
Opening the book again, Milo found Ordinance 574381-W. In the doldrums, laughter is frowned upon, and smiling is permitted only on alternate Thursdays. Violators shall be dealt with most harshly. "Well, if you don't laugh or think, what can you do?" asked Milo.
"Anything, as long as it's nothing, and everything, as long as it isn't anything," explained another. "There's lots to do. We have a very busy schedule. At 8 o'clock we get up and we spend time, and we spend from 8 to 9 daydreaming."
Here's the schedule.
"From 9 to 9:30 we take our mid-morning nap. From 9:30 to 10:30 we dawdle and delay. From 10:30 to 11:30 we take our late early morning nap. From 11 to 12 we bide our time and eat lunch. From 1 to 2 we linger and loiter. From 2 to 2:30 we take our early and afternoon nap. From 2:30 to 3:30 we put off for tomorrow what we should have done today. From 3:30 to 4, we take our early, late afternoon nap. From 4 to 5, we loaf and lounge until dinner. From 6 to 7, we dilly-dally. From 7 to 8, we take our early evening nap. And then for an hour before we go to bed at 9, we waste time. As you can see, that leaves almost no time for brooding, lagging, plotting, or procrastinating. And even if we stopped to think or laugh, we'd never get nothing done.
You mean you'd never get anything done, corrected Milo.
We don't want to get anything done,
Snapped another angrily.
we want to get nothing done, and we can do that without your help. You see,
Continued another in a more conciliatory tone.
it's really quite strenuous doing nothing all day. So once a week we take a holiday and go nowhere, which is just where we were going when you came along. Would you care to join us?
I might as well, thought Milo. That's where I seem to be going anyways. Tell me, he yawned, for he was ready for a nap now himself. Does everyone here do nothing?
Everyone but the terrible watchdog,
Said two of them, shuddering in chorus.
He's always sniffing around to see that nobody wastes time. A most unpleasant character.
The watchdog? Said Milo quizzically.
The watchdog!
Shouted another, fainting from fright. For racing down the road, barking furiously and kicking up a great cloud of dust, was the very dog of whom they had been speaking. And we're going to leave it there, where Milo meets the watchdog. As you'll see, he's going to be his companion in this adventure. Until then...